the GoPro to me, I'll call it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here at the blur of the SWBL for the championship. Season 18, 2020, with the Expos v. the Brewers. Expos making their first playoff appearance in franchise history and have won back-to-back playoff games. They have won, Jimmy Stout, my co-commentator, they've won 7 of the last 8 games if you include the playoffs and regular season.
Wow.
They're the hot team, and you got to wonder, are they going to be last year's Yankees? The hot team coming into the playoffs, being the Yankees were the first team to win 3 in a row to win the championship, or are the Brewers finally going to get that monkey off the back and get their first championship?
It's possible, and I'm not going to be biased here. I am a member of the Brewers. I didn't play the last 2 years, so I'm going to be.
It's okay to be biased.
But, it's hard to tell. Is this going to be a pitching duel, or is it going to be a hitting duel? I mean, I would assume you have Jimmy Nelson on the mound for the Expos. Tough knuckleball to hit. I believe he shut out the Brewers earlier in the season. Patrick Addy, he's been throwing a lot this year, but he's been on, so you got to go with the hot arms. So.
And a great summer season too for him. So, first pitch there with the first ball. Brett Spencer, the big ad for the Expos this offseason, has come up huge for them in both the playoffs and the regular season. So we'll see what happens.
You can't sit back there with the gun, see how fast he's throwing, and then decide if you're going to call it or not.
Actually, that's exactly. I sit next to Spencer here. I see how fast he's throwing. That's the exact rule, though. That's the new rule.
A little discrepancy on the rules here, but it looks like the gun has been pulled out on Patrick Gotti. But, you know, definitely some concern with Jimmy Nelson on the mound too for the Expos, because he definitely got a little hot. Brett Spencer getting the single up the center, up the middle there, but Jimmy got a little hot in summer league. He's definitely kept it under control this season, but he definitely has the potential to ramp it up if the situation warrants. So
yeah, and you got to think that in a championship game like this, you're going to get a little more competitive. You're going to throw the ball a little bit harder. I think both teams are aware of that.
And maybe that's the thinking between the front office, the Brewers, the Expos. We'll see how everybody adjusts to it, but nobody out, top of the first.
Who knows, the pitcher, you can't be worried about the gun. You got to just stay in your head and keep doing what got you there, like that. PG, big strikeout there.
Big strikeout. Evan Close coming up to bat now.
No bucket hat this game.
No, I think that means business.
I think it does.
So we'll see if that pays off for him in this at bat, or if he decides to go back to it. We'll see what happens, folks.
I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious.
Yeah. Evan was a good cut there on an obvious strike from PG. Kyle's still chirping from center field. Kyle's had a hate relationship with the gun.
Yes, he has.
So definitely some animosity toward that decision, but he's going to have to adjust, get his head right, and be there.
Yeah, I think he's just got to trust in his pitcher here, PG.
He's got to trust in his captain too, because you know Peter's going to make the right decision.
Very much so. I mean,
And it doesn't matter. PG gets the strikeout. Nobody hurt. Nothing hurt. Going into the bottom of the first was 0 on the board. So Jimmy Nelson on the mound. You got John Light, played a great right field for the Expos all season out there. And then you got to expect Brett to come out to left field here in a second. So
and John Light going with the castaway look this year.
Absolutely. You know, I was told that since last season, he's actually been living in the woods behind the blur.
I'm not surprised.
And, you know, once the season was officially assigned to this weekend, he set up camp. As you can see that net over there, that's where he's been living. And he is back, folks.
Yeah,
only articles of clothing he's had is that tank top,
When you
that
lose
hat,
your,
and those sweatpants.
When you lose your career as the was it the Geico caveman?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you end up in the woods somewhere, and next thing you know, you're at a wiffle ball field.
The Brewers are going to get Jimmy Nelson's knuckleball here all game. Oh, and Kyle takes a little hack, but unfortunately hits it right back to Jimmy. With one quick out there for Jimmy, so.
I'm sure in the Brewers' mind, they're thinking about that last game where Jimmy Nelson shut them down. They got to try to make contact in any way, make the fielders make plays.
Oh,
PG
PG drives one out to the
into
tree. We'll see
We're
if it
getting
stays
Plunko.
inbound.
We're getting Plunko.
Oh, great effort by John there to try to get the throw out, but just missed him.
We got one out. Brewers with a man on second. Captain Peter Light up to bat.
Pete can give them a spark here if you make something happen. We'll see how aggressive PG gets on the base pass, but you got to think that if there's a single, he's going to be going as hard as he can, trying to get to the dirt.
Especially if Peter can get one opposite field here. Expos playing with a left field shift.
Yeah. You know, one thing we haven't really talked about or mentioned, but the Lights playing maybe in their first championship against each other in history. Mike and Pat Light at home, potentially watching. If you are, we welcome you. We're glad you're here to watch. We're not sure what you might be up to, potentially cutting an Expos and Brewers jersey up and trying to sew that thing in half. Must be hard to be rooting for
Possibly.
against your sons here in the championship. So, I mean, this is even bigger than the Super Bowl.
I think so.
You know.
This is bigger than the Elway brothers
Yes,
going at it.
for sure.
This is bragging rights at dinner.
Oh,
Peter.
he gets a little pop up, and Jimmy makes the play.
Brewers get a double, but cannot drive the run in as we head to the top of the second.
So we go in 2-0-0.
Brett Spencer's out there trying to calm the storm he made with the radar gun. Just let the guys know, hey, no hard feelings.
Nothing personal. So Matt Germer up to bat. 0-0 here. See what he can do.
Matt Germer is also a hockey goalie, so I'm not surprised he has the hands to play wiffle ball.
He is a hockey goalie, and he
as I
drives
just
one
said right
out
there.
to
A
put the
home run.
Expos up in the championship. I did not know Matt Germer was a goalie. He seems short for a goalie.
I did not either until after the first season. I was working at an ice rink and a pickup game, and he was out there, and I noticed him. Kind of struck up a little bit of friendship on the rink there.
Impressive.
But goalies, you know, they got good hands themselves. So
Oh, Brett slaps one over a deep center, right center field and gets that single there. So brings up Jimmy Nelson, who has been struggling somewhat today at the plate. But maybe he can turn his woes around here and give his team a boost, as well as give him some run cushion on the mound. Pulls that one into the tree. If he had squared that up, that was probably gone.
would have been gone, yes.
Oh, and he finally does square it up and does come up big for the Expos to put them up 3-0. Evan Close coming up to bat, number 15 here. Puts the bucket hat back on. Maybe he thought from a superstition standpoint that he needed that to get back in the game.
You got to stick with what got you there.
Yep. Oh, pokes a little one there, and that's trouble, but I believe Peter makes the play.
I believe so, by a step. I believe I saw the guys in the score booth put their fist up for the out, and yes, it is. That's a big out there.
Yeah, and that's great backup, great aggression from Captain Peter Light, who's got a lot of experience in left field. We had mentioned it when he and I called a game earlier. He will make some errors, but will always be consistent for you, which is really what the first foundation of what you need in left field. Not everybody can be a Chris Metter or a Brian Kenny.
No.
But if you get that staple in left field, seems like the teams who are in the playoffs consistently have that guy in left field.
Yeah, and usually Peter's errors are they're hard plays to make. For the
Absolutely.
most part. And I remember a couple years ago he was pretty down on himself. Wasn't sure if he would take left field ever again.
Takes one up the right side and makes the play to get his team out of that inning. Only down 3.
I think the birth of his 2 children the last couple of years has really struck a new dad confidence in him to get out here and keep performing at a top level.
Absolutely. So we've got Derek Cornell up to bat for the Brewers in his first plate appearance. We will see what he can do against the knuckleball of Jimmy Nelson. But he's been real big in their 4-hole for the Brewers this year.
He has.
He's filled in for you over the last 2 seasons,
sure has.
which we had mentioned in the last game. You know, because obviously Peter was hoping and expecting you to be in that 4th hole, but not having that solid guy you can rely on, and he stepped up big. Oh, and that was a close play, but Derek did just beat Brett to the mound. Great play by Brett to be there for the backup.
Yeah, like you were saying, Derek stepped in last year, and I thought it was huge to get a lefty in the lineup. I saw some of his swings last year, and I said, this is a good guy to have. He's not overly powerful. He can hit some home runs, but he gets on base. And a lefty that can get the plate into the trees, that's huge for his team. He's done a great job filling in for me. I'm glad they found someone to fill in. I was looking forward to, after my first full season of full at-bats, I had a pretty good season. Unfortunately, couldn't play, so I was worried about the squad, but Derek has stepped up in a huge way.
Yeah.
And definitely is a big reason why the team has made it thus far.
And what a great decision by Captain Peter Light to put him in that 4th hole, almost in effect acting like a second leadoff hitter, getting him
gets one up.
Oh, and it gets to the fence. John making a quick recovery there to keep the runner at second base. But like I was saying, great decision by Peter. If his on base percentage has been as good as it has been this season, you almost load up the bases for your 1, 2, and 3 hitter.
Exactly.
To get somebody on to make those home runs count even more. Oh, and a wild pitch is going to advance the runners here. Jimmy's going to be kicking himself for that one, but he's back at it. He's not deterred. He gets the swing on the ball at the face. And that's the deceptiveness of that knuckleball, folks. Until you're in that batter's box, you cannot appreciate how hard it is to hit that ball.
I sure don't miss seeing it.
Oh.
Big cut by PG there.
Oh, and he drives one up the line. And John on the shift from right field makes the play. What a play by the right fielder to get that done. It does score a run, but that could have been real trouble for the Expos if he had not been in that position.
I come in first and second with nobody out, with Peter Light up to bat. But instead, just a runner on second. 3-1.
3-1. Oh, and Peter pushes one right, but just foul. We've got our neighbors rocking out to some Coldplay.
Well, Coldplay catches a lot of flack, but I enjoy Coldplay.
It's a good mood for this final championship.
Yes, it is.
Oh, a little poke, but unfortunately right at the pitcher, gets the out to go to the top of the third.
Brewers cut the lead down to 2.
Expos going in here tired. They've played back to back to back. It feels like they've been out here all day. I think this is game 5 of the day for them. And if you have to, you know, if you got to get advice about that, you got to ask the Yankees, who played 5 games on Saturday, and they were wore out by the end of the day.
I bet.
So not only does the hard matchup come into play for the Expos against the Brewers, which is not a fun team to have to play against in the championship game, but their stamina's got to be coming into play too, and they are fighting and clawing to make sure that they have the energy to take this and try to keep a hold of this lead.
Yeah, and like you were saying about the Yankees, 5 games on Saturday, plus two front office members on that team. One of them, Kevin Pulley, does a phenomenal job with the graphics.
Absolutely.
Each year.
Yeah.
So they got their hands full all around. And we appreciate the work Kevin
Yep.
Scott doing the whole front
Yep,
office.
hardest working member of the front office right there, Kevin Foley. Probably one of the greatest treasures of the SWBL.
Definitely.
And he hopefully is just enjoying the playoff run, being able to watch. I know he wanted to be in it to defend that title from last year, but I hope he's enjoying himself as a fan right now.
Unfortunately, last year, if I'm correct, I believe he was not here for the championship run.
He was not.
He was with the 2019 Stanley Cup champion Blues, working there for them. So I'm sure it was a little bittersweet for him.
Yep, that is correct, Jimmy. And they Kevin was working for the Blues, had to leave for Championship Monday, so it was bittersweet. He's talked about it a couple times. Yes, of course, he is on the trophy, but definitely would have loved an opportunity to be a part of the whole season, the whole playoff run.
Definitely.
But you know, they traditionally go every other year where they struggle, and so next year, you never know. He could be here the whole time, and hopefully we're back to playoff hockey with the Blues and championship hockey again too, but we'll see what comes. Folks, I'm going to take a step away from the booth here and just try to find out what the delay in the game is here, and let you know, okay? Hang tight.
You know, the SWBL just wants to thank everybody that was out here this weekend, the players, for doing their part to follow the guidelines that were set in place to have this season, to make it happen. I'm sure it was hard. It's different, especially after the past decade plus of being up here with the camaraderie of everybody up here all at once, enjoying the game, in the pool, drinking beer, having fun, cheering on your team, booing teams you don't like. It was a little different, but everybody stepped up, was mature about the situation, and has done everything possible to make this season possible. I'm sure everybody would rather have a season this way than no season at all. So thank you to Sam Skibby, Skibby's for hosting it again. Just a wonderful job. And I believe we are getting the stats correct. Is that the situation here?
Yeah.
We're getting some stats correct. Not sure what. But we are about to start back up as Sam Skibby gives the okay. As we welcome back my partner, Brian Benway.
Jimmy had the right call there. They were just trying to make sure stats were correct. I believe there was an at-bat missed, so they were just trying to make sure they had it corrected. And we are back to the top of the third. Expos up 3-1. Nobody out. Brett pushes one over to right field, and it does go out to give them another point, another run on the lead. You know, one thing I just noticed in my drunken haze is that PG might have the most animated windup of all pitchers in the league.
It's very old school.
He takes his time. Oh, little fly ball over to Peter, who makes the play easily.
Does a great job calling off his other outfielder there.
Good talk
Control.
there. And that's what comes from experience and
Exactly.
playing with the same three. These three have been the big three for this team for years, decades,
Sure,
ages.
And it goes back to what you said. They needed that guy that's going to get on base, and if these three guys are all clicking, it's a dangerous squad.
That's the MO of the Brewers. It's usually one or two guys are not on. One guy is hitting and playing great, and the other two are off, and it rotates from game to game.
Sure does.
Or season to season. But this year maybe is the year finally where they get three of them all on the same page and they make it count. Nice drive
Close
from
drives
Evan
over
Close.
Peter Light's head.
Losing the bucket hat from the speed. Just pure on 100-meter dash speed there.
Christmas card.
Fun fact I got during the break is this would be the first light championship for any light brother, even though they've had 3 in the league.
Correct.
No light has ever won a championship.
Wow. I mean, that's bragging rights. That is bragging
That
rights
is,
at the
you're right.
dinner table.
The Thanksgiving dinner this year will be a hot topic.
Takes one off the trees.
Evan, let's see what Evan does. Is he going to go to third? Oh, he holds up. I don't think he would have made it, folks, and that's okay.
But you know, it wouldn't have
But
hurt to win for it.
It wouldn't, yeah. At worst, you come back to third and
Exactly.
you're still on there for Brett Spencer up at the plate.
But also, I want to run doing out with Brett Spencer coming up to the plate.
That's true, too. Great point, Jimmy. Brett takes a hack there at that first one, getting
Get
it out of
first
the
one
way.
there, yeah.
Oh, and just tips that one to go 0-2 on PG
You know, In
down.
my years I've been here, Brett Spencer is very good at coming across that plate on a pitch like that and taking it opposite field.
Yeah. Oh, and he drives one over to the fence.
Off the wall.
Let's see what happens. And they're going to play it safe and just keep men on first and second. But a great RBI at bat. Down 0-2 from Brett Spencer. So PG.
I believe it is 5-1 currently?
5-1, I believe.
And, I bet Peter's hoping for a nice little ground ball to him here at third, turning double play. Peter's one of the best in the leagues at turning double plays, I must say. And I'm
Absolutely.
not being biased because of our teammates or he's my brother-in-law.
Yeah. You know, that's one thing we've mentioned a couple times, but the light tradition, not only within the 3 brothers, but the brother-in-laws making a statement in the league now. You got to think, plus probably the first farm system prospect to ever eventually make an appearance in the SWBL, John's son,
Yes. Jack Light.
Jack Light.
He's getting up there in age. I believe maybe 10, 11 years old, so he's
Oh,
getting
a
close.
little
He
hit
can
up.
Get it.
Oh, goes with the simple.
Oh, they didn't need the double
Out.
plays. There was already one out. and I
Peter
was not
makes the
paying
simple
attention.
play. PG gets out of the jam. So they go into the bottom of the third, down by 4.
Good small ball at bats there by the Expos to get some runs in.
And Jimmy, probably not what we expected from a championship game. This league is a hitting league. You'd expect it to be 15-13, high scoring, but pitching has become a real factor in this league this year.
It has.
Most teams had a solid 2-man rotation, and you got to believe that may be the trend going forward. You can't just rely on one guy for the 30 innings.
Cannot.
You have got to have a solid number 2.
And it seems like the rest of the league is starting to kind of round out hitting wise. So you can't have that backup pitcher to throw in those throwaway games against, you know, the teams that used to maybe be the guaranteed 1-9 or 2-8 kind of teams.
John makes the play at first, the rare put out at first base.
All these teams can hit. They got some hitters now, so you have to have at least 2
Yeah,
ace pitchers.
absolutely. And you think that is only going to play a bigger factor as the players age.
I believe so.
You know, people aren't as athletic as they get older. They're going to struggle to get more and more singles, doubles, triples. It's going to be the home run ball. And so therefore the pitching is going to become a factor
Yes.
as the players, the base of the league ages. So Kyle Cornell up. And we'll see if he can make something happen his 4th time through the lineup. Get a spark for these Brewers to get them back in this game. And takes a pitch outside, can't quite push it over to there to right field, which I think was his intention. So takes one off the noggin. You get 2 balls there.
It's tough Tough to lay off there, that knuckleball.
It is hard because you never know when the moment is going to come where it comes back in on you. And that's a walk for Kyle Cornell, which brings PG up.
PG has had a MVP season. I don't think that's on his mind right now. I think he's winning the championship.
I think that if you were to take all accolades out of as an option for any of the Brewers, Gold Hands, Cy Wiffle, MVP, they don't care.
No.
They want the championship.
FOTY even, and that's something the Brewers hang their head on, is that franchise of the year. But they want the championship. And PG,
and PG drives it out to left field. Big hit.
And if Brett Spencer
To
was
get
a
them
few
closer.
years younger, I believe he may have hopped for it.
Still would not have catch it because, let's be honest, he's 5'2", maybe 5'3".
Maybe with spikes on.
So even if he had dove, I don't think he would have made it, folks. Oh! But he does make that play, robbing a line drive home run from Peter. Holy cow,
And
folks.
I believe that might have been directed towards the broadcast booth over here, chirping on his height. Wow.
What a play. And if you're Peter, you just got to shake your head and toss your hands up and say, well, that's how it goes.
That's how it goes, yep. What a play.
Play of the year? Play of the year.
Possibly.
Pretty close.
Championship game, that's huge. Not sure if that ball had the carry to make it all the way, but wow. Big play. Brett showing age is not a factor, or height.
Nope. Oh, Evan pokes one out, but Kyle is right there to make the play. Great positioning by the Brewers to get that first out. In top 5. Oh, and it drops in for a fair ball. And nobody's there.
Big effort by PG.
Yeah, can't fault him for going for that ball.
He was hoping to get a nice quick inning there. He's been working his butt off on
He
the mound
has.
this season.
He has.
He's sweating out there this heat.
Definitely gonna need a nice cold beer after this. Maybe a little bit of a shower.
And that would have been a big out to get with Brett Spencer coming to the plate after a top 10 nominee play last inning. That means
Brett 0-1 now, or count 0-1. 0-2, so he is in the hole quickly against PG, who has got to be trying to get this out and get back to hitting and put the ball in their court.
Yep.
It will be up to them, and we'll see what happens, but make for an exciting bottom of the fifth. But Brett pushes one. It might be at the fence, but it does carry for a 2-run shot.
And that will put the Expos up 5. Like we were talking about last game, Brett Spencer may just be the big X factor for
Absolutely.
this Expos team.
Brett's won one championship with the Rockies, maybe 2.
Maybe 2.
Obviously, multiple championships in the 2-man and 3-man era.
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Fame member, huge get, and what a
Wow,
pitch by PG.
It's
Just hitting the tip, getting just the tip of the strike zone. So we go to the bottom of the 5th.
7-2, I believe.
I will verify that. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
7-3 Expos, bottom of 4.
Oh, bottom of the 4.
Bottom
okay.
of 4, so still a lot of life for the Brewers. who are the home team and are going to get 2 chances to get back into this game. Brett Spencer a little hot. We'll see if that becomes a
Did
factor.
see
But
him go over to the trees back there. Wasn't sure if he was going to take a leak. If he wasn't feeling well, I feel like the heat might be getting to him. Maybe one too many beers. This might be his Michael Jordan flu game. We don't know.
could be. Hopefully it's not coronavirus.
Nah.
Oh, Derek takes the first strike there, so it's 3-1. Pushes one up, but Jimmy is gonna make the play for the first out. Top of the or bottom of the 4th.
I'm good right now.
The Expos making sure that Brett is okay out here in left field, as heat is becoming a factor in the middle, early part of the afternoon.
Here's the thing about Brett. He is a fighter. I believe the last championship he won, he pitched on I want to say a sprained ankle.
Yeah,
Like 2 seasons ago, on a sprained ankle, he finished the game.
Jimmy just going to work, not taking any time, but Kyle flies out
Just
to
gets
Brett,
on the one.
gets the second out of the game, or of the inning, and that takes us to the top of the 5th. 7-3 Expos. And we'll see if we can if PG can give us a quick inning and get them to the bottom, give them a chance. But you got to think the Expos are trying to get as many runs as they possibly
I
can.
believe so, because these Brewers they're fighters.
I don't think that they can take this lightly. It is a big top of the 5th inning here for the Expos.
Just last season, from the hospital bed, I watched my Brewers come back from about a 10-plus run deficit against the Twins.
And Evan drives one out
to
to
the lead.
add to the lead. 8-3 Expos.
For the Brewers being the home team, the last inning, there's no run limit.
Nope,
I believe.
there is no run limit. You can win by, obviously, up to a minimum of 1. Obviously, if you get an opportunity down 1, bases loaded, you can win by 3. But you only have to win by 1. It just takes 1.
Yep.
And
PG
PG with the
strikeout.
strikeout. One step closer, but Brett coming up to bat, battling through heat exhaustion. Again, folks, keep in mind, this is the 5th game of the day for the Expos. They are fighting, clawing, doing whatever they can to finish this miraculous season out. But PG wants to make sure that he knows that they know who they had to beat. Brett pushing one to center field up to the wall with a single. Not trying to stretch that into double, which is the smart move by the veteran. So Joey Nelson coming up to bat here.
And I believe here in the turn of events, Kevin Weetucker
Kevin,
pinch running for
oh,
a Brett Spencer.
Kevin running for Brett with the heat being a factor here. Kevin being on the bench, being on an unselfish captain all weekend, coming in to try to relieve his playmaker, give him a break, and help hopefully be a factor for his team still.
Gotta give Kevin credit for also building a great team over the last few years.
Absolutely. For years and years, the Expos have been the
Bottom of the barrel.
bottom of the barrel. I don't want to call them the joke or the laughing stock because
No.
they absolutely have not been. But definitely, I would say underappreciated, undervalued, disrespected.
A fan favorite though team. For
Yeah.
How much fun they've had.
And Kevin has not let off the gas. He has built a team here that is obviously in the championship and leading in the championship.
Yes. Jimmy Nelson rips one by Peter White there, first and second. One out.
One out. Evan coming up and a new hat. Same game. We have gone with 3 different looks from Evan in this championship game. And he flies it out to Peter and it doesn't work. So maybe he should have just gone shirtless, maybe pantless. Might have worked out better for Evan in the end. But
We head to the bottom of the 5th. 8-3.
I believe that is 8-3. So the Brewers down by 5. So they need a big bottom of the 5th here. And you got to wonder, not that they're not able to do it, obviously, as you alluded to earlier. They are absolutely capable of putting up a
Yes.
5-6 run inning. But the pressure of winning the championship, of never quite getting it done, has got to be looming in the minds of the Brewers.
Definitely. And I'm sure, and they're also thinking, man, against the Expos too. We've been a top team in this league for a while, and the Expos just come up quickly to make their way to a championship. It'd be a tough pill to swallow, but you got to give credit to the Expos.
Mm-hmm. 2-1 count as the wild pitch becomes a 2-ball. That was low, so that is 3-1. And PG pushes it over to the wall, and what an effort by Brett Spencer.
Great effort.
Almost making
Great
the
effort
play.
by Brett Spencer there.
Oh my gosh, folks. Brett leaving everything on the table, trying to do whatever he can to get this victory for his team. Strategy,
Taking control of the field.
strategy coming into play here. Jimmy Nelson. Oh, and Brett right up the line. And he takes the quick out to get the first out of the inning. Oh. Oh, I may be wrong. There must have been something I didn't quite catch.
It was close. And it's tough to tell, even with all the eyes watching. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. And again, the teams do umpire their own games, and it seems like the Expos went ahead and gave him the single.
Yeah,
on
I
that
think
play.
they figured that they got to lead. There's no use in arguing over and out. They got faith in their pitcher Jimmy Nelson here.
And that forces a situation where you have the force out at first, second, or third. And and what a play. Brett comes up huge to seal the victory with a diving catch, double play to catch the runner going. The Expos win the SWBL championship for the first time in their franchise history after making the playoffs for the first time in their franchise history. What a Cinderella story, folks. If you can't get on board with wiffle ball, I don't know what you're doing. For Jimmy Stout, Brian Benware, Sam Skibby, the SWBL, congratulations to the Expos. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you in 8 short months for season 19.